Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and I'm coming to you today with our fitness management update. And what I want to give you is a tip, something you can do to improve gym sales immediately. I know I get these phone calls, all the time from owners and operators and managers and salespeople and everyone. Hey, how do I improve sales right now? We need to make sales. And I want to give you some very simple things that you can do. Plus, at the end, I'm going to give you a special bonus tip that can really help you maybe even double your production. Okay, so first things first, we want to improve sales immediately. So number one, regardless of circumstances, everybody gets a presentation. And so here's what I'm talking about. Is certainly if they're walking in your front door, if you're in that position, if you're back open, customers are coming in, make sure every single person gets a presentation, because the reality is they can't buy unless you sit down and give them that presentation. So give it to them. The second thing I would talk about along those same lines is a lot of you folks that are still doing digital, and I encourage everyone to be doing it. Some, that's all you can do right now, depending on if you're in New York or New Jersey or North Carolina or wherever you might be where you've not opened yet. You're online. Still give that presentation. Here's what I mean by that. Everyone that you talk to, everyone gets a presentation. Now, online, maybe you're not literally giving a presentation, kind of like what maybe I might be doing here or what you might be doing in person. But, throughout the course of that conversation, you could simply put in there, and Mary, if you feel like you have enough information to make a decision, we have a great membership special going on right now. It's going to set up in the following manner. Click the following link. It's good for 3 days. And so put it in front of them. They can't do that. They can't respond unless you put it in front of them. So everybody gets a presentation. Everybody gets a proposal. Everybody gets a link at some level. And so if you're online, the phrase that I like to use is, Mary, if you feel like you have enough information to go ahead and make a decision, we've got a great membership special going on right now. It sets up, this much to enroll, this much per month, includes all the facilities we've talked about. Here's the link. You can click here. It's a simple process. This is good for the next 3 days only. And I'm kind of talking here. I'm talking, when I do this video here, we're kind of nearing the end of the month. And so, maybe I'm doing a month-end closeout. Okay, so regardless of circumstances, everyone gets a presentation. Everyone is going to see these prices. They can't make a decision otherwise. Okay, number two, treat everybody you talk to like a buyer. We cannot get into our head that they're not going to buy. We cannot get into our head they are not a customer. Don't let the customer convince you they're not a customer, okay? Treat them like a buyer. And as I've said many times before on on-site presentations, other videos that we've done, treat these folks like they're worth $1 million and like they're interested. And they'll start to respond like that many times, okay? Don't prejudge it. Don't think you know what the outcome's going to be before you even get started. If you're online, don't just assume they're not going to buy. If they're coming in and say, hey, they just want to check it out, they're not real sure, make sure you stay true to the process that you guys are using. If you don't have one, we need to get you one, right? But, treat everybody like a buyer. Have high expectations. They're here at some level. They want to improve. They want to change their life. That's why they're here. It's your job to help them do that. Treat them like a buyer. Number three, and this is more kind of in the club, but sit down with every prospect. And so when you're in the facility and you're going to, give this membership presentation, don't do it while you're walking across the workout floor. Don't do it at the front counter. Sit down with them. Mary, other than, how our programs are set up, do you have any questions? Well, no, I don't, or yes, I do. Okay, great. Let's have a seat. And so sit down and give that presentation. Okay, do business with them. Don't just make it a casual conversation. Next on our list, and this can work at all levels, but essentially use a pre-printed price sheet. Use a pre-printed price sheet. So when you sit down with the customer, it's already set up on how you want this done. Because if you're a gym owner, you want to decide what it is that you want to sell, and that's what we're going to show. Okay, and a lot of times I like for it to be a choice close. Do you want A or do you want B? Okay, we just don't want to give them a whole menu of prices. We'll start creating our own problems if we start to do that. So, use a pre-printed price sheet, and even going back to, the whole concept of everyone needs to get a proposal, same thing. Mary, we have two different programs. Both of these can help you lose the weight. Both of these programs can help you get off that medication. And Mary, if you feel like you have enough information to go ahead and make a decision, there's two ways you can handle it. Here's the first way, and here's a link. Here's the second way. Here's a link. Pick the one you like, and we can go ahead and get you started today. Now this offer is going to end in 3 days, so look forward to chatting with you. If you have any questions, please let me know. And so if you've got someone who just won't return your call or won't get back with you, you're having trouble connecting with, we've seen that that's a good way to handle that. Okay, so give that a shot. And then last on our list, and it gets back to some of the same things I'm talking about here, make sure that you ask everyone to buy. I mean, if nothing else happens, we want to do this. Ask everyone to buy. And the easy way to do it, at least from where I sit, is, Mary, we've got two programs that can help you get the results you're looking for, help you lose the weight, get off that medication. Of the two, which one's going to suit your needs the best? And so they'll pick one, right? Hopefully. And you can do it online. You may not even had a conversation with somebody, and maybe they indeed have enough information. And I would even say to you, for you folks that are doing the online selling, folks that have been previous guests to your gym, folks that have been members, your alumni, as I like to call them, these folks, they don't need to see anything. A great question is, hey, do you have enough information to go ahead and make a decision on membership? Okay, and we're trying to get the sales up. That's the purpose here, right? And if you're a full-time salesperson, that's what the job is. That's what we're attempting to do. Okay, so make sure we ask every single person to buy and work on all these things. All these things require work. Asking to buy can sometimes be the most challenging. A lot of folks don't ask at all. And for some of you folks, you might find that the online format, you might find you're a little better at the digital than you are maybe in person sometimes. Always try to get the in person. Don't just go totally digital. Try to get the in person, because it still is a human contact kind of thing. But if you're not asking at all, start asking once. If you're asking once, let's maybe get a couple times in there. If you're asking twice, who knows? Maybe you can do it 3 times. So, start working at this. But these are things you can do immediately, because in most clubs that are not hitting their numbers, you can trace it back, to these things. And literally, I've had clubs that just using this strategy alone, we've been able to, triple and quadruple sales performance just by doing this. And there's no additional cost by doing this. So, as promised, I mentioned you're going to get a bonus tip here at the end. Here's the bonus tip I want to give you. Make sure when you're signing folks up, make sure you're asking for referrals. I know a lot of folks don't do this. A lot of folks feel uncomfortable with this. But again, sales, this is the oxygen to your business. Okay, and we want to keep this oxygen to your business. We want to keep it flowing, so we need to keep making sales. And so here's a simple thing. There's a lot of ways to approach these things, but here's a simple thing you can do: is use a simple rate reservation form. Okay, and most clubs are doing some kind of an offering. Most clubs are doing some kind of a special right now. And so when you're talking with your customer, you're in person, you're getting them signed up, let them know, Mary, the program you've joined on, not everybody is aware of this. This is not being marketed to everybody, and even if it was, they all wouldn't see it. Okay, so what you can do right now, if you want, is you can actually reserve this rate for a close friend or family member. And they'll have 2 weeks to take advantage of it. This is going to expire in 3 days, but we'll give them 2 weeks to get in and take advantage of it if they choose. There's no obligation, but it's a rate reservation for them. Close friends or family members that that you think might like to take advantage of this. And so it's kind of an easy way for a lot of folks to kind of ask for that referral. And so now you have some great follow-up. And for you folks that maybe have been signing up a lot of folks and having some good success, and maybe we've not been getting referrals, call all these folks back and do like a new member call and say, oh, by the way, Mary, when you got started, did they explain how our guest policy works, how our referral program works? And so take some time, kind of explain your guest policy so they're familiar with it, and also let them know kind of just what I said. Mary, the program that you joined on, Okay, if you like, you can actually reserve that rate for close friends or family members. Mary, who do you know that you want to reserve that rate for? And there's no obligation, there's no cost. And then now we've got folks that you can follow up with, from a referral standpoint. So you're taking existing sales, turning it into another sale. And effectively, for you gym owners that are listening to this, you're cutting your acquisition cost in half. And so we've had great success, with a lot of these techniques. So try this. If you're heading into the weekend, you're looking to get some big numbers, you're trying to kick a month off, you're trying to get those projections up so you can hit your numbers. Look at these things. They're very simple things. Not one of them is going to cost you a penny. It's just a matter of taking that right action. Make sure we got our head right. Got to have the right attitude, right approach on this. That if you do, I've seen clubs have some marvelous success. Now, if you enjoy the content that I bring to you, hey, I'd very much appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button. Hey, if you really like it, hit the share button. Share it with folks that could use this information. One of my goals, by providing all this, is I want to provide as much help and as much information as I can, to gym operators really across the planet to help them improve their operation. So many of them, become isolated. They don't have that resource center. They don't have that trusted partner of sorts. I'd like to be that trusted partner, that resource center, for gym owners really across the planet. So hit the subscribe button, share it. My name's Jim Thomas. I appreciate you listening, and hey, have a great day.